Morning, folks. Welcome to the Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. Boy, do we have a doozy of a program for you today. If you are watching, you can see it. We've traded in our normal set for a holiday set. If you're listening, I want you to just look inside your heart and feel the holiday vibes roll in. It's time to get festive. Thanksgiving is coming up. Christmas is coming up. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever else people are celebrating, Festivus. I don't care what you celebrate, but I need you in celebration mode. Now, we have a lot of things we're going to talk about. We've got Trump's cabinet is getting set in. We've got UFOs. We have Jake Paul. Are they all connected? We'll find a way. But I want to start by talking about the holiday season because that's what we're entering right now. I've got a fire crackling behind me. I am dipping this upholstered chair uncomfortably close to it. Is this entire thing going to catch fire, burning down this house potentially? Would that be great for the podcast algorithmically? I would say yes. Think of the thumbnail. My flesh is burning, and I'm just like, I finally make the perfect YouTube face. I'm like, people are like, I have to click that. Podcaster burns alive in his living room in honor of Thanksgiving. Lock that title. That's it. Who's not clicking that? You're watching that. It's a great, how could you not? And that's what it's all about. It's just about a good hook. Life is about a hook right now. We used to resist clickbait. We were like, oh, clickbait, it's trashy. Who's really clicking on this stuff? What is it? Hot singles near you want to suck the, cream out of your donut? I don't really know what a good euphemism for that is. I'm trying to be PG for whatever amount of time doesn't allow me to monetize on YouTube for the 6 cents that I get for this show. Shout out to the 12. Thank you for your half cent each. That's not the point. The point is that clickbait used to be an aberration. Now it's a basic. Now it is required. Now it is normal. I think I saw a New York Times article that said, you won't believe what these Hollywood celebrities look like now. I didn't see it. It was in the article. It was an ad. But I couldn't believe it. The problem is I clicked them, and it was just a Russian girl on a webcam that's shoving a cucumber up her snatch. I've lost my PG rating. That is not the point. Clickbait is everything now, okay? And I think that is why the UFOs are not getting talked about. The aliens are here, but they're not breaking through the news cycle. Okay, am I getting a phone call from my brother? This is unacceptable. Hey, can I call you back? I'm doing the podcast.
Huh?
Can I call you back?
I just wanted to ask you real quick about your question.
Interruptions. Podcaster gets interrupted by his brother with really mundane questions, so he had to cut it out of the podcast. Yeah, that's not going to work. That's not clickbait. And this is what's happening with these UAP. I'm seeing UAP. I had clips prepared. I had all this. I'm out of internet, folks. I can't look things up. So we're going to have to UAP. I think it is, I don't know. I think it's from the Cardi B canon. It's like a WAP. It's like a wet ass pussy, but it's an unidentified ass plane. I think that's what it is. So these UAPs we have congressional testimony. People are talking about. We've seen hundreds of them. They'll be out there all day. They're dipping in and out of the ocean. They're having fun. They're living in the ocean, these aliens, potentially. I'm watching this TikTok with Mrs. Luna, who is a congresswoman, and she is interrogating people. We are getting in congressional record statements that aliens could very potentially be among us. It is possible that our government is spending money working on alien planes that are in our possession. Not foolproof, but it's possible. And 98% of the comments are like, who the fuck that bitch? Hey, Mrs. Luna, where you going with all that ass? I got a question, Congressman Luna. Hey, what it do? This is where we're at. And I get it. Because I was watching that too, and I was like, sorry, I didn't hear that. What? The top comment was, they're telling us aliens live among us, but my greatest discovery is Mrs. Luna. What's up? Shout out to that. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, everything we've always known about humanity, I don't know what does. We have been fascinated in the alien phenomenon forever. It is one of the greatest questions of life on planet Earth is, are we alone? And should we be afraid to be alone? Are the creatures potentially coming? Is it all BS? Is it something else? Or has life discovered us before we could discover life? And are they here to mean us harm? Because we know, as a warlike chimpanzee species, we often mean people who are not like us harm. Should we be afraid of them? Are they here to help us? Could they help us out of some of the messes that seem to be the biggest problems of our time? Maybe they have, and what people are saying is they might have different forms of propulsion, different forms of anti-gravity travel that could lead to much faster travel, that could lead to non-carbon based travel, that could save this delicate balance of a world that we might be screwing up with our own human activity. And some of these are finally getting discussed in the open on the floor of our United States Congress. But they put a baddie up there and we can't quite pay attention. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Sup. Because this is what it is. Life is always school. And when you're in class, you could be learning about really important things, some of the finest works of humanity, some of the most important things of history, some even just basic math that could help you get through your normal life. But if your teacher has a dumpy, yeah, that's the main thing I learned about. Ha 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 ha. And that's what it's always going to be. So I'm glad that Mrs. Luna is involved in this. Shout out to Mrs. Luna. You're welcome on the program anytime. She did a great job questioning. She's talented. She's good at what she does. But whoever cut that TikTok knew exactly what they were doing, because they don't even change the angle. They just do boom, close up, Luna. That's how they're trying to get us to pay attention. But I ain't paying attention to all that. Hey, I barely know those aliens exist. I just found life that looks intelligent to me. Yeah. So that's where we're at. I mean, we have now again, nothing, no one fully admitted, yeah, we've got aliens in our possession, but that didn't even crack the top Google search terms. The main Google search term is Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. Not even a good fight. Talked about it on Instagram. I posted some salty video walking out of the stand in New York, having watched that on my phone, going, that sucked. That was a waste of time. Again, it's our fault. They know what they're doing. They got our hooks in us, all right? They know how the brain works. We barely know ourselves. I posted something because it does way better than the shit that I spend hours on, cutting together crowd work clips, working. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. My thoughts on the fight are public. I thought it sucked. It was not fun to watch. But they got us. They won. You win. And everyone's saying it sucked. Everyone's mad about it. Now we're all talking about it. Still like top viewed thing in Netflix, all this shit. We're going to watch the next one because he's going to know who to fight. Everyone says fight a real boxer. He tried that. We don't care. We don't want him to fight a real boxer. We don't know boxers. We are tribal. We are simple. We like things that go, huh? Oh, aliens might be here. Might is hard. Might is not going to cut through the social media environment. These aliens need to post more clips. These aliens drop a hot clip once a year? Honey, what do you think this is? You think it's 2016? You're going to drop one piece of content a year and expect the algorithm to fucking bump you? You need to get out of that ocean, bitch. Get out of that ocean, bitch, and fly. Okay? Because I've seen what people think aliens look like. If you're trying to come up here on our algorithm with a flat ass like that, you got another thing coming. I assume that's what your name is. You better get a fucking BBL and a social media manager if you want us to actually care about UFOs. Or you need to fight Jake Paul. You can fight Jake Paul. We'll watch that. I mean, that's the ultimate Jake Paul fight. Can he beat an old man? I don't know. Can he beat a fucking alien? I'm watching. And then the conversation would be exactly this. And this is the funniest thing. The conversation to Jake Paul fighting an alien would be exactly the same as the conversation leading up to him fighting Mike Tyson. It would not differ one tiny bit. Because most people will be like, I don't know, Jake's taking boxing pretty seriously. And other people will be like, it's an extraterrestrial. It's not from here. You don't know what it's going to do. But then, like real boxing people would be like, this extraterrestrial has no fights. It's an amateur. If Jake really wants to make a name for himself in boxing, he needs to fight a real boxer. Okay? Jake could walk in there, beat the shit out of an alien, and we'd just be like, okay, dude, when are we going to finally get smart and hip to it? Okay? That Jake is not fighting real fighters. This alien didn't even have an amateur boxing match on its record. We knew Jake was going to smash Gleep Glorp, but they got us anyway. And if the alien finally won, we'd be like, well, that's a rematch at least. You got to give Jake a chance. Okay? So Jake Paul versus an alien, that's going to happen. Jake needs it because he's running out of ideas. Conor McGregor's his next one. I bitched about Mike Tyson. I'd watch McGregor. I would do it. I will watch it. Fuck me. Jake Paul versus an alien. They both need it. They both need it. The aliens are here and we don't care. They need to do something else. You an extraterrestrial? Be extra, motherfucker. Be extra. I'm not seeing shit out of you. You better work. You better work. There are ways to make it. One grainy clip a year is not it. Get better cameras. Fly in front of 4K at least. Join a Mr. Beast video. Be in a Mr. Beast video. I think that will happen. That's the thing is like if they actually come here, if aliens actually come here and then integrate with society, we will get sick of them. So the quickness with which we can just go, oh yeah, that's here now. And then then they're overexposed. I'm like, ugh, God. Mr. Beast and the aliens are trying to give people in Africa new toenails. Who gives a fuck? And then there's backlash. Then there's backlash against the aliens because they signed a brand deal, and they're trying to Gleep Glorp partnered with Mr. Beast to try and sell mildly toxic binkies to infants. And it's like, but they're less toxic than the average binky. Who fucking cares, dude? It's the holidays. It's the holidays. We can all take a break from the algorithm during the holidays. Next Thursday, next show date is Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'm going to post one. I don't think so. I don't think you should listen to my podcast on Thanksgiving. You know what I think you should do? I think you should go have a nice meal with your family where you either drink too much and finally lay shit out there, or you sit there and have some nice pregnant silences. I think more people should, this is a hot take, I think more people should talk about politics at the dinner table. What else are you going to talk about? What else is there? What else is really going on? The media environment is so fractured now. Like you can't, like, you're not going to ask your dad, did you watch the Jake Paul fight? He doesn't give a fuck. He's right. Maybe he watched it for Tyson. Maybe. Okay. You can't talk about whatever YouTube rabbit hole you've gone down. You can't bring up, you're not supposed to bring up politics because everyone's going to be coming in with something different. You don't know what people have been putting into their brain for hundreds of hours a week. You don't know that's why people can't bring things up, because it's like you bring something up and someone just hits you with a barrage of complete, not even like, oh, I guess we disagree on this. Here's why we did it. You're spending your whole time going, where the fuck did you get that? I try to do a decent job of going around finding different perspectives, and people will pull up with some shit where you go, I want to know how you got there. I am killing to check your work. I want to see your history. I wish there was like an algorithm menu, and you could just look at like your friend before they came over for Thanksgiving. There should be a feature on Instagram and YouTube and Google that gives you a score of what everyone has been looking at before they walk through your door for Thanksgiving. So that way you know who you want to fuck with and who you don't. All right? Because there are some fun ones. Okay, all right, Aunt Betty's coming over. Okay, cool. All right. She listens to podcasts where white people say the N-word. Okay, that's interesting. Like these are okay. Aunt Susan's coming through, and she is straight up New York Times, NPR. She's been in this bubble. We know what she thinks. Hey, better sourced information, but we know that she will be shocked, okay, when Uncle Greg comes in, and he has been down the RFK rabbit hole where he thinks we are all going to get abs because Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is in charge now. Now, he is certain that we are all about to be shrouded and that the government is going to bring basically like a little package of like GNC supplements to your house, all healthy, naturally sourced, and we're not even going to need vaccines because we will have whatever the ashwagandha and ayahuasca, and we will all get a kettlebell. And he is certain that this will come from the government and we will all be jacked. And he's excited, and he's very excited. And based on all the information that he has no reason not to be excited. But Aunt Susan, she doesn't even know those people exist. So she has only heard newspapers that are saying that he wants babies to die immediately. And so now she's looking at Greg, and Greg's fired up because he's like, you guys are going to be so fucking jacked, dude. When he gets the fucking carcinogenic seed oils out of your McDonald's and replaces the meat patties with 100% protein, you guys are going to be thanking me. You guys are welcome that I voted for Trump. And she's going to say, you're a fucking baby killer. And that's why I think people should talk about politics at Thanksgiving, because it's good for you. You need to learn where everyone's at. It ruins the night. But was it going to be fun? It ruins the night. So just do it. Get loose. That's what the original Thanksgiving was, if you think about it. It was two sides who disagreed having a nice civil conversation that only led in bounty, peace, prosperity, and happiness for both parties. And that's why we celebrate Thanksgiving, because it's exactly that. And everyone knows that story. And that's how that story went, without a doubt. That's not true. I did lie. I lied on that one, but I do have a horn of plenty behind me. And isn't that what it's all about? It is about having bounty. It is about having much. It is about having too much. So this Thanksgiving, this holiday season, whatever you celebrate, please celebrate. Get fat. Okay? I want you to get as fat as you possibly can. And it doesn't matter, because RFK will make you skinny. Get as fat as you possibly can this Thanksgiving, because it is the good, decent, gentle, and kind thing to do. I saw some fitness influencer talking about how it's no days off and like, yeah, have some fun. You can indulge a little bit, but like, get out and, do your run and you can break some of your rules without going all the way. Go all the way. Because if you don't go all the way, you're making the rest of us feel like shit. All right? One day a year, we can all agree to be fat fucking pieces of shit. Can we not? Can we not have a pact? It's not fun to be fat alone. It's not. It's bad for you. It's depressing because now you're fat and sad. Don't make anyone fat and sad. Get fat together on Thanksgiving. You better fucking do it. You better fucking do it, or I'll fuck you up. I'm not going to be the one eating my third piece of pie and someone's going like, I'm just checking out. Fuck you, Jeff. Eat the fucking pie and drink. I know you've been sober 10 years. You drink tonight. It's Thanksgiving. We got a volatile family here, and we need to talk politics. And if you're not lubed up and ready to cut loose, then what the fuck are we supposed to do this Thanksgiving? Nothing. All right? You go, you have a nice blow up, and then you put on the football game so you can autistically not make eye contact with any of your family. And that is what Thanksgiving is all about. That is what the Pilgrims and the natives taught us. Let's eat a lot. Let's talk specifically about our disagreements. And then let's live happily ever after. That's not how that happened. Well, look, the history of everything is not great when you look back at it. So you got to make your new history, all right? And that's why Thanksgiving is about being fat. It's about being fat together and not letting anyone off the hook. Not letting anyone off the hook. Do we really need mashed potatoes? I don't need carbs. You're eating fucking carbs today. All right? You got me? You're eating carbs today. Because I am too. And I don't want to feel guilty. Look what I've done. I took my nice little recorder and it fell. And that's okay. That's okay. We're getting fired up today. In the holiday set. Something nice about not having my computer with me. I can't check facts. We can't run clips. We can't have a plan. We can just tell you the God's honest truth that it's the holiday season. It's time to relax, enjoy your family, and bring up Trump's cabinet appointments one by one so you can discuss them. We talked about it on last week's episode. Trump is always a Rorschach test. People see what they want to see. Some people are excited. Some of the cabinet picks, because it's like, fuck the system and that whole thing. And at the end of the day, there's one common thread that runs through pretty much all of Trump's cabinet picks, and it is loyalty. It is who has sucked Papa's dong. And I don't think that is a good quality in a president. I don't personally think that is a good thing for the country, but I have to be intellectually honest when I tell you that that is how I would do it too. You think I'm going to become president? And in Trump's case, you think I'm going to come from a historic second half deficit? I mean, I'm talking 32 felony counts. I'm talking tried to incite an insurrection. I'm talking left, right, and center saying this dude is cooked. He came back from behind and he caught a dub. That is what happened. He came back from behind and he caught a dub. And if I'm coming from behind and I'm catching a second half dub, I'm going to hook up the boys. Do I like the picks? No. Do I agree with the picks? No. Do I agree with the philosophy? No. Would I do it? Yes. And that's how you got to be honest. He just threw Dr. Oz in there. He's throwing Oz in. Okay, Oz I think was I don't know. I don't have internet, but Oz was either owns a house down the street from him in Mar-a-Lago or was staying at one for a while. He's just got like a group of homies who live on a golf course in Florida, and they're just like, y'all want to run the country? I don't know if it's great, but it sounds fun as fuck. Like, how often have I been on a golf trip with the boys and gone like, should we start a company? You know? And it's never a great idea, but it's like, how fun would it be to work together and live on a golf course and like do our things? And we could golf in the morning, and then we could have little meetings in the afternoon, and we would all get rich and we would enrich ourselves. And what if that country was called America? I mean, they're having a nice time. Will the effects of it be positive? Probably department by department, I would say. I'm not an expert in that. I'm an expert in Thanksgiving. But that's just like, I get it. Sometimes you're with the boys and you wanna start a little company. You want to hang. You want to have a nice time. And at the very least, I hope that everyone's having fun. Trump and Biden had fun when they met by a roaring fire, right like this itself. Trump said something very illuminating there, because Biden was like, the right is very convinced that Biden voted for Trump because it is quite known that Biden did not love Kamala and certainly didn't love it after she, got him out of there. And there was a very cold moment between Jill Biden and Kamala where Jill didn't even look up and acknowledge her, even though they were sitting together. And Jill, of course, wore a red suit on voting day. That is the color of the ops. And then Biden was just kind of vibing when Trump came in. He's like, all right, this guy's Hitler, but like, hey, the boys are back in town. But Trump said something very interesting, and I thought it was illuminating for his entire thing. He said, politics is quite often a very dirty game, a very nasty world. I call it nasty world. I call it crooked Hillary. But today that world that is nasty is not so nasty today. Today, the world is a nice day, and we look forward to a great transition. Some would say the best transition, aside from, of course, Caitlyn Jenner, who had a transition. I don't agree. At least she did it after she played sports, and that's one of the problems is when the girls do it before they play sports. Not so nice, but a beautiful woman, Caitlyn, and a great driver, except when she killed that person in her Suburban. The point is, he said, it's a nasty world, but today it is a nice world. I thought it was interesting. It's obvious. It's kind of dumb. It's not that illuminating unless you really think about how he approaches everything and why he can go from saying crazy things, insane things he's going to do, to moderating, how he can go from saying horrible, nasty, crazy things about someone to letting them in as long as they show loyalty. He met with Mika Brzezinski and Joe from whatever the fuck their show is, who have been criticizing him for a long time. And it just, to me, shows you where he's at with all of this, where he basically is like, this shit is nasty. Politics is nasty. They're going to come for me. I'm going to come for them. It's gloves off all the time. Fuck you until I win or you bend the knee. And then, of course, we can be great. And it's interesting because we like to say that he is way outside the norm of our politics. And I have felt that way. Again, January 6th. I'm not quite over that one. I know it's not cool, but I still think that was not so great. But I wonder if maybe he's just not discreet about doing what everyone kind of does. And everyone out there will go balls to the wall. Every administration goes, okay, what's the law? How far can we stretch it to do what we want? Now, he's open about it, and he asks it to do crazier things, but every administration goes, what are the tools at our disposal so that we can stretch this as far as we can go, have as much power as we can? That is human nature. That's why our system is set up to have checks and balances to guard against that, because it's what we all do. But everyone else just does it and then says it more politely. And he just went full fucking gloves off, but maybe he's not that different. I don't know. The only reason I'm saying that is not to normalize him, but just to say, oh, it's interesting how all the people who said he was a threat to the complete republic are now like, all right, well, we can work with him on this or that. He won by enough votes. Fuck it. Like, this is insane. Let's just work. And it makes sense because these people know each other. They are coworkers. They work together. They are doing battle. We are watching it as sport. It affects our lives, but they're really focused on one another. I think. And that's why I've always thought it was a little insane. I do think it's crazy when people think that Trump is like truly a warrior for them. I think he's very obviously a self-interested individual, but I think it's quite true frequently on the other side as well. And that's why you need to talk about it with your family. You need to discuss it openly with your family. It is the best thing that you could do, as long as you film it and send it in to the show, joeyshowpodcast@gmail.com. We will be playing any large, full-scale, familial, political fights because Thanksgiving is a meal that often doesn't have much spice in it. So we're going to bring that to the table ourselves. I mean, people come with crazy new things. I saw a person I know, posted, shared publicly to their Instagram story a video of a medium, a psychic woman, making an excuse for why she and other psychics did not see Donald Trump taking office, excusing her incorrect election prediction by stating that Joe Biden giving weaponry, allowing the Ukraine to use its missiles in Russian territory as a explicit push for a World War III, which would allow Joe Biden to stay in power, and it performed well online. I can't stress this enough. I am trying to perfect a craft. I am trying to write and film sketches. I'm trying to capture crowd work moments. I'm trying to post thoughtful, balanced jokes about the things going on in the world. And there are lunatics out there saying that Joe Biden is starting World War III because it will allow him to stay in power, and using that to excuse her incorrect election call and saying that Trump won't get into office, and people are buying it and afraid and sharing it. People I know. And it's outperforming my work. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. And that is why I'm going to become a psychic. Okay? And I will take on clients. I will work with the aliens. That is what the aliens need. They need people like me, okay, to come in and say, your strategy sucks. Here's what we're going to do. Not only are we going to say that you're flying around in aircrafts, potentially dipping in and out of the ocean, the entire United States government, or many people know about it. Let's even expand what's actually going on here. An argument is being made that there are huge shadow-funded departments working on recovered alien spacecraft in our possession, also in possession of other countries. So there's basically a shadow Cold War going on, allegedly, between us and other countries with alien technology. Now, right now, I'm sounding like that crazy lady talking about World War III, except for the fact this was said in Congress. This was said in Congress, okay? That could all be happening. Does it potentially explain why the Pentagon has failed its 7th straight audit in a row and is unable to account for something like, again, no internet, but I want to say it was between 40 and 60% of its budget. Billions and billions and billions of dollars. Of course, some of that is wasted when they just leave, tanks and equipment for the Taliban to ghost ride the whip in. Yeah, could be that some of that's going there. A little bit of messy spending covers up some things. But that's not going to be enough because it's still kind of dry from a social media perspective. Like, we could post any of those clips. It's not going to. People are going to go like, yeah, isn't that right? Isn't that like, show me a body. Show me a body of an alien with a thick little dump. Aha. Yeah. Where you going with all that ass R2 fucking skeet to? The fuck? Guess that's just a robot. That's not the point. If we tied it in with astrology, we're cooking. In the era when it was TV, if this alien shit was going on, if that hearing happened, we would all be talking about it and we'd be having a conversation about it that falls between certain lines. But that's not the world that we live in. It's not gaining traction. So the aliens, if they're unwilling to fight Jake Paul, need to get into astrology and get some of these crazy bitches, you could say witches, whatever you want, some of these diabolical ass hoes, okay, they need to utilize them and what they're tapped into to get a real pop on TikTok. Because the problem with the alien phenomena is it's not about us, right? It's about them. Look at my fast space shuttle. Pew, pew, pew. I'm not going to share that with my friends. That's not relatable content. If you want if you want stuff to go viral on social media, it can't be about sharing something good. It has to be about making it about the viewer. I probably said this before, okay? This was great advice given to me by Andrew Schultz. He knows social media. He might even know some aliens. But with astrology, you can make it about the end user. So if one of these crazy people said the aliens are flying in, and that's because your Leo moon is in rising. And when the aliens are flying around, that explains why you are in such a bad mood and why your crush didn't text you back. And then people would go, holy fuck, the aliens are here and it's about me. And I've totally been in a bad mood and my crush didn't text me back. And now we're cooking. Now everyone cares about the aliens. Now we can pay attention. Now we can discuss, where is this Pentagon budget going? Can we get this out in the open? Might it be good for the people to know? I guess it could all be bullshit. It could all be bullshit. It could all be that's the flip side. Is then people be like, oh, it's the fucking Matrix, dude. That's when they're trying to distract you from the real shit. Like what? Like what? Like the fact that RFK is trying to make me jacked? The fuck out of here. This is my favorite thing about the era that we're in with Trump and RFK specifically, is they just have a vibe that is not totally consistent with the things that they've said that they want to do or are going to do, but the vibe has hit. The vibe has taken hold, and we go with the vibe. And I'm sick of fighting the vibe. Come here, you make me jack. He's going to make everyone's dicks bigger. That's what I heard. He's going to make everyone 25 years younger with a nice big dick or a tighter pussy. And why not go around believing that? I'm ready for it. Bring it to me. Bring me my supplements, my kettlebells. I'm ready. Maha. Fucking Bosa gets hurt, dude. This is one of my things. People go back and forth on the on whether athletes should discuss politics in sports. Because when the left did it, the right is fighting mad. The left is like, this is why your fucking ratings suck and no one fucking likes you. And then the right does it. You know, Nick Bosa wears his MAGA hat and he does his Trump dance. And then everyone's like, yeah, finally, you gained a new fan today. Like, yeah, we really fucking get it. Absolute hypocrisy on both sides. I'm pretty fucking consistent. Don't get hurt after. Don't get hurt after and have us lose to the fucking Seahawks. How about that, Nick? I don't care, okay? You win your election, you can't win us a fucking divisional game at home against Geno Smith because your hip hurts, because you fell on him? Fix it, okay? Go find RFK. Nick Bosa, you go find RFK right now. You tell him to fix your hip, okay? If he knows, get him, fly him in. Fly him in. Have him fix your fucking hip. All right? Keep tackling people, and you turn this around. We're not going to fucking miss the playoffs the same year that you wear a MAGA hat. You wear that MAGA hat, you go win me a fucking ring. Huh? So that I can defend it to my friends who don't agree. So that I can say, hey, winning's winning. You can't do that and lose, fuckface. That's what happened to Colin Kaepernick. Everyone talks about the Kaepernick thing. They're like, he got blackballed. The NFL owners are racist. They didn't let him out. Yeah, it didn't help him when he stood for an anti-police cause. It didn't. But you know what else didn't help him? He was losing games. You want to have a political opinion, you win the fucking games. Comprende? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, that's what's going on domestically, I guess. Aliens live in the oceans. You know, yeah. Well, I would be remiss. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick, I'm just going to tell you guys, we're going to do a quick ad, but then I want to tease it before you skip through it. We are the world's foremost North Korea podcast. That's my foreshadowing. Please come out and see me on the road, ladies and gentlemen. Only one final show in 2024. That is San Jose Improv, December 18th. It is the official start of the holiday season. It will prime you to discuss all manners of politics with your family. And then 2025 heats on up. We have Austin, we have Nashville, we have Atlanta, we have Eugene, Oregon, we have Irvine, California, we have Calgary, we have other things, but look them up, joeyavery.com/live. They're all there. Also, merch. What are we wearing? The Joey Avery Worldwide Industries cap, a fine family of corporations. We played the video last week. The shirts have company logos that correspond to a bunch of fun moments from jokes, some that I actually haven't released yet. Others are crowd work moments that you will recognize. We got shirts, we got hats. Please buy them. The link will be in the description. We really support it. And we love when we see members of the 12 rocking that sweet merch. And holy hot shit, do I want to say thank you to the fine people of Colorado. That was awesome. Comedy Works South. Comedy Works is such a great club. Incredibly well run. Staff there is unbelievable. The build is so cool. Maybe a little comedy insider, but everyone talks about how stand-up clubs, what makes a stand-up club great is what everyone knows is low, well, somehow people still don't do it. Low ceiling, dark on the crowd, ideally a little cold, people stacked right on top of one another. That's what you want. Comedy Works has taken it to another level with this really perfect, slightly tiered seating so that everyone can see, but it doesn't feel like you're in a theater. And on top of that, I think what needs to be added to the concept is the V. The stage is into a corner and it fans out, and it just makes it's a kill box. You can feel all the laughs. You can get rolling on stuff. The Colorado show was awesome. And those of you who couldn't make it but are just watching this fine YouTube channel, please leave a like and a subscribe. I will be posting a long version of that show, as well as long versions of some shows from Houston. What I'm going to try to start doing is basically taking, if I have a topical joke here or there and then some crowd work moments that are really good, and I can just string them together and make it sort of a long, I wouldn't even say mini special, but just like a long set, 12 to 25 minutes, and just start posting more and more so people can see some of these live shows. They've just been so fun, and the clips are fun, but it's fun when you can really get to sit down and watch them. So that's what I'm spending time on now. If you're interested in that, more of that will be coming. And of course, when you do come to the show, it's not all improvised. That's just what I post. Most of it's material, and we like where the hour is at. So come on out. The shows are getting really fun. Tons of people, Reddit people coming out. But everyone who's been coming out is great. I feel like I am cultivating an awesome fan base. Without fail, almost everybody I meet is incredibly nice. There seems to be a high knowledge of stand-up comedy in general. People kind of get it. And so I've just been having a lot of fun, and I want to say thank you guys for that. Maybe that's what I am thankful for on this fine Thanksgiving holiday. So as the world's foremost North Korea podcast, I would be remiss if I didn't check in with our fine friends in the North who are doing one of the funniest things that I think I've seen a nuclear power do. Not funny if you're South Korea, not funny if you're their neighbor, but what North Korea has decided to do, what they have focused on currently in this modern era of warfare, is being an annoying neighbor. Yep, that's what's happening. They have bought speakers, and they've pointed them at South Korea, and they are now playing annoying sounds at the South. Let's play a clip. Hey, say what you want. That is a move. That is an effective move. If you've ever lived next to somebody and they want you to move out, the only thing you can do to really win in that moment is be the most annoying. Now, I don't think South Korea is planning to move out, but the fact that North Korea is just sitting there and like they're having meetings, they have had high level, like this probably crossed the desk of the dear leader, and they were like, "How about this? Let's play loud shit." It's just gonna piss them off. They like went out and bought like people are starving in the streets, and they were like, "Do you guys have like the biggest JBL? Can I get the big JBL? Like the one that the fun dad brings to the beach. I want the fun dad JBL. The one where it's like, look at this. You got the small one, look at mine. It's fucking huge. Boom. Take that, put it on the border with South Korea, and let's play some fucking tunage until they lose their shit." God, that would piss me off. If I was living in one of those houses, I'd be like, what the fuck? And then eventually I'd be like, that is fucking kind of hilarious, dude. Kind of hilarious. I don't know. They do something fun every week. I want to hate them. They subjugate their people. They stand against everything that we believe in. They didn't even let the boys crank until they got to Ukraine. We covered that last week. Everything about the country is bad, but there is an irrefutable charm when you do things like that. Like it kind of feels like a country that is being run by a 12-year-old. You know, it's just like, well, we got to, don't let people say mean things about me because I don't like them. 12 might even be old. It's a country run by a toddler who's like, when I'm sad, they need to be sad. Why aren't they crying? Are they fucking with us? It's a toddler that swears. Play loud music. Clang, clang, clang. Oh, did people say something I didn't like? Send them to the woods. Make them build trains or whatever. Like, that is what a child would do. And so I find it endlessly fascinating. That's your North Korea update for the week. I don't really have much else to expand on it aside from how sometimes the news is so funny I can't make it funny. That's just genuinely hilarious. But as the world's foremost North Korea podcast, I did feel like I had to give you guys an update. We never sleep, all right? We've got an eye on Pyongyang at all times, all right? Ever since we planned our trip there, early episode, we've kept an eye on it, and we will continue to do that. Speaking of keeping an eye on things, I found an interesting app. I was hit with an ad on Reddit for an application that said, mimic Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio. Now, I haven't done this yet because I've talked to a few people about it, and they said now is maybe not the best time to do that because she's lost her grip on power a little bit, and also these portfolio copying applications at times can screw you because they have to wait until the information is public. So I'm not going to sit here and name the application because I can't say it's a good idea. And anytime I say anything on here, it is official investment advice. This is not investment advice. I feel like I have to say that. People with successful shows do. But on this application, okay, a genius had an idea, and this genius had a concept that said, hey, our system is bit corrupt. Just a bit. Not complete, just a bit, okay? It's just a tad corrupt, all right? Stop. Free. Okay, well, it's not letting me in. A tad corrupt. Not full tilt. Not to be rude, but not third world country levels of corruption. Some corruption. I think this is a great idea. I think if politicians are going to trade off insider information, and as I had checked Nancy's portfolio, she was up 90% compared to the market, which was at 45%. I mean, I want in on those gains, sweet sis. I want in on them gains. Yeah. I'm going to put a little bit in and let it ride because I want to see. Nothing crazy, just a bit. Hey, just a taste. I just want a taste of Pelosi capital. I want to be involved a bit. Now, I don't know who is going to benefit the most from a Trump campaign. I would assume his mailman or some random woman who's been jerking him off under the table for years, because loyalty is how the man operates. But we got to keep an eye out and find out who's benefiting the most from Trump, because they will do very well in the market, and we will have a way to follow them along. I think this is great. This is a great place for America to get to, where we've got capitalism to the point where the greatest way for most people to make money is via the market, not directly their work, just the things that they have a small piece of ownership in passively. And then you have people that have so much information, so much sway over it, who are also allowed to utilize it, that they can become insanely wealthy just by knowing what they know. And of course, all of this is illegal or whatever, but it seems to be happening. And now, just to make sure everyone's cool with it, we've come up with apps so that we can mimic corruption in a smaller manner, but the people can do it too. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a great thing. Why not? Let's all do it. Is there a world where we all got rich? Like, what if we all pumped the same stock? I don't know how stocks work, but theoretically, it's a decent idea. Of course, one person would sell, then we'd be fucked. But what if we just had this big fat portfolio and we all had diamond hands and no one sold? The problem is then everybody would be rich, which would just mean inflation, which really goes to show you that not everybody can be rich, because then nobody's rich. If I have a 50,000 square foot house, but everyone has that, then I'm just a poor boy with a lot of space. No one's sucking your dick if it's the smallest house on the block. What's going on? Maybe it's not all about money. Maybe there are things in life that are more important than mimicking Nancy Pelosi's portfolio, than trying to have the most money, because the most money means the most power, and then the power means you can do whatever you want. And then now in this day and age, you can buy social media platforms, you can buy papers, you can buy all sorts of things that push the flow of information in the direction that you want, so you continue gaining more and more power, and you get to reshape the world in your own direction. But do you really want to do all that? Do you really want to do all that? Like, at some point, even being involved in corruption sounds boring. You know, people will say that it's bad to turn a blind eye to those things because that's how people get away with it. Maybe. But life is also short. And that hypothetical that I just used, where I was like, well, no one's going to suck your dick if you're in the smallest house on the block. Well, that's only if you're dealing with people who suck dick for the wrong reasons. You're dealing with bad people. You're shoving your dick in their mouth, and there's plenty of room, because you know what's in there? Not a soul. There's no soul down there. Maybe what you need to focus on in this time of potential political turmoil, in this time of potential Gilded Age riches coming upon individuals, in this time of aliens potentially being among us, in this time of information being so ubiquitous that it's hard to cut through it, that it makes you feel weird, that you don't know what the truth is. Maybe the best thing you can do is focus on the little things, the things that really matter in your life, the people that do make you feel good. Maybe what you should focus on is concept of gratitude. Dialing in on family, friends, loved ones, close people. Forgetting about your goals and aspirations for a short amount of time. Maybe eating food. Maybe eating too much food. If only there was a holiday for that. A holiday that maybe has some interesting history to it, but maybe in this moment, we don't need to focus on the big questions about everything. Maybe we just need to focus on the things that we can control, that make us feel good. I think there is a problem going on in the world for a lot of people, myself included, where you have something going on. Maybe something's going on in your family. Maybe you got something going on internally. Maybe you're not happy with how this or that is going. Maybe you've got a little internal problem going on. And I think a lot of times our first move is to seek an external solution. Sometimes because it's easy, but a lot of times because we live in a world that is constantly selling us nothing but external problems to internal solutions. Oh, you're sad, here's a pill. You're fat, here's an injection. You're this, here's a that. You're bored, here's a bunch of content that gives you more ADD, that makes you more bored. I think for a lot of internal problems, the best thing you can do is look for an internal solution, because you might be surprised at how the answers oftentimes are within you all along. And I realize that is coming from an external source. But maybe it's the one you need today. Maybe, just maybe, in a world that is getting so damn confusing, the best thing you can do is make the world that's just immediately around you a little bit better. And it starts with yourself, and it extends to your family and your friends, it extends to your local community, and it extends to the little beautiful world that you can build all around you. And if we all just do a little bit of that, maybe things will get a little bit better. And if we can do that, then that, ladies and gentlemen, is something to be thankful for. And it starts, of course, with having a knockdown, drag-out fight with your family about politics while you're hammered at the Thanksgiving dinner table. I don't know if I'll see you next week or not, but either way, I will be back after that. Thank you guys so much for listening to this show. I am thankful for you. It has been very fun getting to slowly build this with the group of people that's been listening thus far, and I do not take it for granted one tiny bit. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave a comment. You know, the algo definitely needs it. Spotify, same thing. Apple, rate, review, all that good stuff. But most importantly, leave yourself a like and subscribe to your own thoughts, because I give you 5 stars. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Good night. Thank God I have a podcast.